It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day and day 2 in Sunset Cliffs. And clearly we are in Elaine's backyard. We went ahead and had the plants delivered in the alley and stored back here. So we've got, don't get excited, the little pots of flowers are just used to hold the tarp down. But we got some Mangave Jaguars and some Cynthia Giddies and a Geminifolia. I think yesterday we showed them the ones from Brandon's, right? And I've got my Sunburst. We've got our first run of plants from Oasis too, our little 1 gallons for our tapestry. She had these Myrtillo cactus crests, look like Eve's needle, that I'm going to be working some of the better looking pieces in. She got these from a neighbor. She's got a lot of little collectible plants she's starting back here. But what we want to stage right now is our giant golden barrel cactus. So this is how it's done, guys.
They're carrying it in a hammock because this just got watered in, and that big giant barrel is heavy.
I didn't realize they had watered it. That's terrible. How much would you say that weighs, guys?
Like more than 3 pounds?
No.
Maybe 60 pounds.
It weighs a lot. Let's just put it that way. It weighs a heck of a lot. So Mel's going to gather up the dirt out of the can and we'll throw that on the ground so that we don't have to dig a hole. Then that is the lazy man's guide to planting succulents.
Bart came with the boulders today.
Yes, he did. We got 2 tons of boulder from Bart, and then we also have a basket of pot rock and some jasper purple that Greg is going to be collecting.
And then I also ran to Oasis to get the tapestry plants today. Some of them.
Yeah, some of them. And that's how it goes sometimes, you know. You don't always get everything all at once. Sometimes we just want to see how it feels. And then make decisions on the fly.
So why do you want the barrel to go where it's going, Mom?
Yeah, I want the barrel staged low in the design space because I want something down here that's not going to grow tall. That's the challenge, whether you are doing a container, or which is basically what this is, a giant container, or a landscape. You don't want to put things at the forefront of your design that are going to get very, very tall and block everything behind it. So we've got some really dramatic elevations going back here, and I don't want to draw the eye away from that. I want it to be seamless. So the barrel is actually perfect because it makes a very large statement visually, but it isn't ever going to grow tall. All right, so Mel, where's the soil? Oh, you need help. He needs help with the soil. We also staged our driftwood, which I'm not 100% married to it right here, but this is, you know, early moments in the install. We're just getting started. Greg and Luke went off to get some 3 cubic foot bags of Kellogg's garden soil. We brought in 5 yards, and this, you know, being a smaller space and having the constraints of this retaining wall, we had to be careful because if we got too much of anything, there wasn't going to be anywhere to put it. So we got conservative. We had the 5 yards, and now we're going to bring in the equivalent of 1.5 yards of bagged dirt, which will be a lot easier to move into the design space. These boulders are 2 foot minus, and this is 2 ton of boulder. We'll have another couple of ton in an additional rock that we will be bringing in. We've got the Aluaudia procera up on the top of the hill, and we also staged one of the boulders as a basalt. We set it upright. So look for that. When you're out shopping for your rocks, look for some that you can stage on their end instead of laying on their side. It's really beautiful and a very dramatic way to stage. So again, we're lazy, we don't want to dig a hole, so we just take the dirt that's in the can, throw a little of it down. And you can see here that this barrel cactus, you know, it doesn't have a whole lot going on in the root department, which is how I like them. We don't need a bunch of roots. Really, you don't need any, but this is fine. And we'll smooth that dirt out and then basically just make a little cradle for the barrel and set it right on top, and it'll figure it out from there. Back in the early days, it was just Greg and I. We did everything ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
Those were the days.
Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine trying to wrestle one of those things around.
I can't either. I think about it a lot. I mean, I tried to get her, but she was only like 6 years old.
Beautiful.
Wasn't really that useful when it came to heavy lifting.
Laura pulled up into our driveway. Come from the grocery, she's going to drop the kids off. And they were car seats at the time, so she's getting the kids off. And she's going to go back. And the bad boys coming in. And Jackie's fucking heavy.
Driftwood. And now we'll figure out how we're going to stage it, whether it's going to be standing up or down. Get down. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to want it to stand up, but maybe lower, maybe right here, Kev. Oh, thank you, Cully. All right, so we are done for day 2 and much progress. Bart came with our 2 ton of boulders, which we got mostly staged, and we began to plant out the design. Now, here's my thought process with this. The first thing I did, you know, I took the majority of that 5 yards of soil and I made a big mountain out of it. And then I had Bart come and bring boulders. Then I staged the prettiest ones on the top of the mountain. Then I determined what plant do I want to be my thriller. And I decided that I wanted this cute Aluaudia procera to be my thriller. I always, as a go-to, do Portulacaria, either Afra or Minima as a ground cover down hills. That's kind of my thing. Then I wanted to make sure that I got the driftwood staged. And I pretty much do. And then I'm thinking about, okay, I want this to go this way visually. So I want to plant in such a way that as these things grow, they maintain that size. So the Bicarnia recurvata is going to get quite tall in time. The Aluaudia procera will get sky high, but because it's so loosey-goosey and floppy-moppy, I don't mind if it gets taller than the Bicarnia. Weight-wise, visually, that's heavier. So then I've got my Aloe ferox, which will grow to be about this tall and about this wide, but will have this dissension happening, dissension in the ranks. Then my agave quadricolor, which was on Elaine's wish list. Why, I don't know, because those of you that grow this plant know it puffs like crazy. But this one's from my garden. You may recognize it. And that's fine. It's just that I couldn't find one that looked better, so I went ahead and dug the one up that I have. And then back here, the challenge was she doesn't want anything that's going to grow above the window. But we need something that's going to carry enough weight for this giant wall. So the solution was this aloe plicotilus ferox or Bainesii hybrid. It's kind of a, but it's got plicotilus in it. These are a couple of pieces. They're cuttings from the Bayho project. Remember the client that wanted us to dig up her plants because she thought they looked angry? Well, here are 2 angry cuttings. So these will stay fairly low profile and I think be the perfect solution for this area here. Over here, we've got a couple of small cutouts, and I think I'm going to do her Hesperaloe, or part of it. That's the plant over next to the trellis. I may divide it in half, but that over here I think will be just the perfect balance of Foofy. We have Foofy with the Bacarnia, and then we would have Foofy with the Hesperaloe. Then I am going to go to Planter Paradise tomorrow and grab 3 large Talavera pots. And I'm going to stage 3 pots in this installation, which is why I wanted to wrap it today before I got too far down the rabbit hole, because those pots are going to be really large footprint wise in this installation. Remember, we're also going to be doing a flagstone walk path through here, and then and we have our Dazzlerian longissimum here, and these are the boulders that we have not yet staged. They will stay up here, and then, you know, I don't know yet. I still have a lot of plants, but I did want to do some really cool tapestry work in here and over there where those Plicotilus hybrid are. So lots of great things happen today. Tomorrow, a lot more great things will happen. Thank you so much for following along, for sharing these videos, for subscribing, for supporting us through joining the channel, and through buying all of the ridiculous merch in the store. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with day 2 in Sunset Cliffs and your succulent tip of the day. Bye guys!